Jesse, you know.
I'm going to ask you a few questions on how people.
There's a number of reasons people have. Some have the fact that unemployment. Some have the price of housing in Marin being sky high. One of the most expensive places in the country to live, actually. And you have some that have situations with addiction and alcoholism, mental health issues. And there's a lot of different factors. But they all have the common factor of it being high rent, very high rent.
And do you think mobile houses would be a good cooperation in helping homeless people get into less homelessness and make it more affordable for people to live?
That could be a factor, but I think people need to look at the fact of how come rent's so high in Marin. And one of the reasons being, it goes back, it's political, it's very political. Creating a situation where supply and demand takes place and there's more demand than they have housing, okay? Where the vacancy rate stays very low, therefore the housing cost goes up. And they can actually guide that with certain things like in the late 70s they had a moratorium on water hookups given by the Marin Municipal Water District, okay, in conjunction with someone else. But that allowed there to not be any housing built for 5 years. Housing was not cheap then, but a lot cheaper than it was. At the end of that 5 years, housing went from say $90,000 to $300-something thousand, same house in a 5-year period, and it's been soaring ever since. And they have a way of keeping the vacancy rate between 2 and 3.5%. Okay, that assures supply and demand will keep it high, continue. Yeah.
And thank you. Ms. Crotto, what are your experiences with having or not having rent control in your recent years?
Hi, Andy. Thanks for interviewing me. So I have lived in my apartment in San Francisco for about 13 years now. And in San Francisco, we have rent control. Rent can go up 3.5% every single year, and it does for me annually. So that's about $50, I would say, about every single year it goes up. And I don't mind that. That's not breaking the bank for me, so I feel like it's not horrible. And I do know that the price of water has gone up, and so it enables landlords, I think, to that they add into the lease. But I would definitely say that it protects me, because I know that if they did not have rent control, I know that from my apartment, I have a really nice spot in the city. They can get way more for what the apartment is worth now. I pay about a little bit more than $3,000 for my place, and I know that they can get close to $4,000 for that. So they can easily raise the rent to a spot where I can't afford and force me out. And bring somebody in and pay more. So I feel like it's kind of the same token for any utilities that go up. They can adjust for that, but at the same token, it protects me from them not raising the rent to be higher than I could afford, and maybe have to make a choice about leaving and going somewhere else.
Do you think and just having a happy medium for the renter and the landlord?
Yeah, I can't really understand. I mean, in all honesty, I do not own properties, so I'm not a landlord myself. However, I have rented numerous places, and I appreciate the landlord and renter relationship. And you have to have a circumstance where the landlord wants a good person in the place who pays the bills and the rent every month, but yet at the same token, you want a landlord who's going to take care of you and treat you like a human being, and not just think greedy. And so to me, rent control is the happy medium of that. Again, it enables the landlord to, cost of living adjustment, but at the same token, it enables me to stay in a place where I can afford at a slow, gradual rate.
And do you think mobile houses are a possible solution to homelessness?
Yeah, sure, of course. Mobile housing is, still something that a homeless person is going to have to, work to afford. I mean, buying a mobile home is not free. It's you're still going to have to buy one, but it's a lot less than I would say the average house, especially in San Rafael, is. So yeah, I think it's also well said that it's a good happy medium to pop up maybe some more mobile home places, but I think that that's where you might find a challenge in San Rafael of who would want mobile home housing built in these open spaces or these spots that are available in San Rafael. I'm not sure if you would get that would be an easy win.
Thank you, Ms. Corrado, for the interview.
You're welcome. Thank you.